There is a connection between the paranormal, UFOs, and the myths of ancient history. The clues are scattered across the landscape from a forbidden past, maybe even in your own backyard. There is a connection between the true nature of our reality, consciousness, and the unexplained. I'm Carl the Crusher. Let's explore the unknown. What is up, everybody? I'm going to be trying out a new camera today, the Insta360. That's why I got this selfie stick connected to my backpack. I'm not sure how this is going to work, how stabilized it's going to be, but we're going to have an awesome day today because I'm up here with Patrick from the Vetted podcast, and we're going to be hiking up the Anasazi Trail, and we're here with Gino from the Y-Files. So yeah, this is a 360 camera, so you don't even have to get in front of it. It's get in every direction, so I can follow it. Now you're over here now. Yeah, you're making my editing real complicated. All right, but we're gonna be hiking up this ridge and showing these guys around the Anasazi Trail, which is also the Valley of the Magic Mesa. So we're probably gonna be here up this morning until we get cooked out from the heat. And then we'll come back, take a break in the afternoon, and then we'll probably come back here at night for a night watch and do some sky watching. So that'll be cool. Yeah, I'm excited to try this camera out. We'll see how it goes, or if the audio's good, or if it's too shaky, or if you're too close to my face, or if it just looks awesome. We'll give it a try. Hopefully it's a new, unique experience. Hopefully I don't break it on the first day.
You wanna lock this?
I can lock it. I got the keys. Okay. Most people totally miss these.
These paths?
Yeah, there's petroglyphs right here already.
Oh shit.
This is cool. I can go hands-free. I hope it's not too wobbly on this thing. Seems like it'll be cool though.
I think it'll probably stabilize.
Here you go.
Oh shit.
So this is all ancient glyphs and rock art.
I do see them.
These are anywhere from 300 to 3,000 to 10,000 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, what does that look like?
See the different types, and that's like a figure with arms and legs.
Yeah.
With 3 legs, or a long sash, or a male phallus, you know. And there's like this headdress with the box on top. And then here's a figure as well. Another one right here. Almost looks like it has a hat on with some kind of energy
right here
coming out.
too.
Yeah.
It's a line.
It's these tribal lines and energetic lines. And then notice below that guy how there's a line going across like at your waist level that goes and goes and goes, and then there's figures up here and all these ancient symbols.
This is great. So you feel like there's some sort of energy here.
Yeah, well, and like as the sun comes up in the morning, you see below Gino's feet and below your feet here where this line in the shadow is on the ground.
Yeah.
So as the sun comes up, this line of the shadow will probably come up, and as it comes over this edge of the rock, it will form to where there's probably a shadow that goes right along this carved line like this. So it looks like everybody is standing on the sunrise.
Oh, wow.
And then the whole story kind of can play out like that. Like the light will point as a triangle, or like a beam of light that goes from this guy to that guy. So it kind of like tells a story like a movie, you know? Wow. And that's way more obvious when we get up to the top, where they really did it. But this is just like one of the first panels, and there's more and more, and they get bigger and bigger the higher up we go.
No way to tell how old.
Well, there are some ways, like you can see how there's this like different colored lichen, like the green and the gray that's growing in the carving. You can tell that that's obviously started growing on there after it was carved. So you can determine, you know, how long does this type of lichen take to grow to this size. It might take at least 100 years to 300 years for this gray stuff to even form like that in this arid environment. So since the time somebody carved this has been at least 200 years probably. You can rough guesstimate just off of the stuff growing on it. But other people are way better at it. When we get up higher, you can tell where some are newer and some are older, because the desert varnish, this black stuff, will have like washed back over and reformed over the rock. I never noticed this whole thing just looks like a square that's been carved to be like a box. And this is like an arrowhead thing. Shield or bullseye. But usually, I mean, I can talk about what these are, but to say, oh, I know what this means or I know what that means, I'm kind of just guessing based off of a lot of different references. Nobody really knows.
Sure.
You know, they're so old. Yeah, we'll just keep going up, and there's more and more as we go. We'll keep going up this way. Patrick,
Yeah.
tell my audience what you're doing up here. Why, you're filming a documentary.
Yeah, filming a documentary about psionics. And that's pretty much it.
Psionics, UFOs, telepathy, and all this.
Yeah, telepathy, psionics, consciousness, and everything kind of connected to it.
So this is a datura flower and plant. This is a psychoactive deliriant. So if you process this plant like into a tea or smoke it, you will see shadow people. And not fun ones.
Yeah, not fun ones.
No, it's like not a good one, but it was used in rituals that the Paiute would do. In fact, there was a couple of Native American teenagers from the Shivwits tribe that did a datura ritual, and they were hallucinating and went and tried to swim in the lake and drown. And so, I mean, there's people still try to use it for different ceremonies and stuff. But it grows all over. So you also have to wonder how much of a part that plays, you know. Go down that way, Gino.
Is this where the snakes are?
Or right here. Well, yeah, they're everywhere, but come down this way and go up and see what you find up here.
You want me to go through this tall grass?
Yeah, you're fine. You want me to go? You want me to go first?
Right.
I'll go first. That's okay. I'll go ahead.
Have you ever been around someone who got bit by a snake?
Never been bit or seen anybody get bit, but I've definitely seen a lot of snakes. I've like caught them and thrown them before. So here's some more spiral glyphs.
Oh, wow.
And again, you can see where the line of the sunrise comes up and makes the shadow. So earlier this morning, the sun would have been rising and this shadow moves across the spirals and lines up with the edges of the spirals and different symbols. And then part of it is like, if you jump down here and sit low and look this way, then you're looking right at that mesa, which is where all the weird lights appear at night. Like balls of light come out of the ground over here and appear on the side of that mountain. But so this is almost like a viewing point where different spirals are who knows why. But yeah, it's another cool little spot right there.
Oh, yeah.
We hiked up this ridge where all the artifacts are. There's like a bunch of pottery and different things, and I usually kind of keep that a secret, but it's cool to show. But yeah, that's the Magic Mesa where all the weird, that's what I call the Magic Mesa, and this valley and canyon is called the Anasazi Trail. And then yeah, there's all these petroglyphs right here. Square.
Oh, I gotta get that. I only got those.
Square, circle, square. And the
So you see
the lights, yeah,
I think the lights are.
you can sit here and meditate and it will appear like a square of light on the side of the mountain, or it'll appear like a circle or triangle of light, and different weird stuff like right there. So it's almost like this is a viewing point and they were like trying to draw it or something.
Well, you think, you don't know? I mean,
It's all a guess, you know.
How bright is the light that you see?
You can see it just with your naked eye, but then with night vision, like you can clearly see it. And some of it, you know, I've debunked that is cars in the community and their headlights will shine up and reflect, but there's definitely other weird lights and layers of lights that move, and I've seen balls of light just come out of the ground and go back in the ground and move around and all kinds of weird stuff. And then down in the lower valley where a lot of paranormal stuff have happened and where people have gotten sick and hurt and got random bloody noses. And so like if we walk up and look down off the edge of this here, you can see there's a medicine wheel down in the lower valley too. You come look off of here. Boy, it's hard to keep this thing upright. Petroglyphs and everything up here, and all the way up the canyon. And then you look down in this little raised area below, and you see the stone circle down there with the cross through it.
oh yeah.
Right by that bush. So that's an ancient medicine wheel, stone circle, and there's tons of artifacts down there. The pottery, arrowhead flaking and all that. See it down there right by the,
To the right of that bush.
There's that-
You can see the bush.
yeah, there's that big shrub there, and it's just like 10 feet to the right of that big shrub.
I think I'm filming it.
There's just that circle of rocks with the cross going through it.
Yeah.
So that's like a compass pointing north, south, east, and west. And that's one of those time travel ritual circles where
That's
they
where
would.
you said the guy went in and got sick. And
My friend James walked in the middle of it doing EMF readings and stuff, and then got super sick, went down by the river down there and was passing blood all over the ground. And then down in this whole weird circle of bamboo that's randomly growing here, people get weird pains in their abdomen and bloody noses, and hear voices and people crying and people on horseback riding around, and there's no one there, like ghost sounds and stuff, you know. Yeah, a lot of weird stuff happens. And that guy that was found dead, he was like running through the trees and stole a truck in the truck yard here, drove and rammed it through a gate right here, crashed the truck through the gate. And then even though the truck wasn't broken, he jumped out of the driver's seat, took all of his clothes off, and then tried to run through the trees. And then he just knelt down on the ground and put his face in the dirt and his hands in the air and laid there and froze to death, like on his knees with his face down with his hands up. So when my friend Dave found him in the morning down there by that pump house, he was just completely naked on the ground on his hands and knees with his face in the ground with his hands up in the air. And he had scratches all over his body, like scratches like he'd been running through the trees, trying to get away from something.
And that's the one that the caretaker said he thinks it was a skinwalker.
Yeah, like that guy was down here doing stuff in the sacred site that he shouldn't have been in, and the guardian spirit basically chased him out. So
don't go down in that little valley or this little area
without someone like me that can tell you what to do. Yeah, how to stay safe. Yeah, I mean, people do go down there, but if you go down there and mess around or do stuff you're not supposed to, this is where like the curse of the skinwalker is, you know. So you're not supposed to like mess with it. Yeah. Now it's recording the whole way around like a VR camera, like the whole thing, every direction. So I can just like be talking to you, looking this way, and then I can point the camera at the sign so they can read the sign and then back onto you.
Oh, I gotcha.
Or whatever, and then make it show.
You're choosing and editing which part.
In the editing, I'm turning it any way that I want. Instead of having to do it manually with my phone all the time, I just want to...
editing software showing you every view at once and you're choosing which
Yeah,
scene?
and then there's presets like forward, back, this way or that way. So when I start editing, I'll decide which way I want to be the front.
Yeah.
And then I can just pick all these presets to change the view and the angle and how fisheye I want it or whatever. I guess. I mean, we'll see. I haven't done it yet. This is my first day even using it, you know. Hopefully it doesn't suck.
It's pretty cool.
It seems like it'll be cool.
Oh yeah.
I think it'll just make it interesting, especially when we get up here in the rocks to where
Send me a little clip of it.
it'll be, yeah, it'll be more 3D, you know. Yeah, I'll share all this footage, you know.
That'll be sick.
No problem.
Can you attach wireless mics to it?
You can, there's a side port, you know. And I brought one, like you can plug a USB thing into the side and then have like a Bluetooth or a wired one. But it supposedly has really, really good built-in wind protection, and it has settings in it where you can turn on wind reduction settings and things in the
There's a mouse.
camera. Yeah, there's little mice and lizards. Well, we'll just do another maybe 50 yards of hiking in.
Yeah.
But this is where the petroglyphs all start. I mean, we've been seeing them the whole way up, you know. But this is where it starts to get more interesting.
Where are we, Hurricane?
Yeah, we're technically in Ivans, outside of St. George.
Oh, I gotta get all this stuff over here, right?
Yeah, we start right here and then we'll work our way up this ridge and then we'll drop over the side.
Can you do me a favor? My walkie-talkie is right there, I think, in that side pocket.
Yeah, you want it out?
I'm gonna hook it up.
Yeah, buddy.
Sweet.
So here we've got these. These could be
See what we got.
footprints or different kinds of symbols. I don't know what they are. If they're footprints. Yeah, you're good. So we just start watching where you step and where we put our hands and stuff now, because as we walk around, see there's spirals and figures here. In fact, let's come and start down here and we'll walk and then we'll go up. See it all. See how there's a whole figure with a spiral, and then
wow, yeah.
and then there's like two little footprints or things coming down
Yeah.
or out of the spiral, but it's got like 3 toes. And notice how they all have 3 toes and 3 fingers. And their arms are all like that with these trapezoid heads, you know? See the one here and one here. And it's like they're coming out of like a portal, or they're here at a specific spot. So I've had a lot of even Native American people tell me those are portal symbols or water symbols, or when they're a bullseye like that, you know. But then when they're spirals, if they're going clockwise or counterclockwise, those represent allegedly like moving back through time or forward through time, like in perceptions. So down at the bottom of the hill, we just saw those 2 spirals going opposite directions right next to each other, which would mean like as you're hiking up this canyon, an indigenous person would see that and be like, oh, this is a place where the past and the future are both together here in the same place.
Yeah.
And then you see these symbols, like there's figures coming out of those spirals and their interaction with that. So that's all clues as to this is like a special place, you know, where there's communication with their gods or spiritual beings, you know, which is what a lot of this represents. But they get stranger and stranger the higher up we go, and we start to see more of them. There's giant ones next to little ones and all kinds of stuff. So like now as we walk up here, yeah, and this view is just killer, you know. And the Virgin River down there, you know, 10,000 years ago could have been really big, like a big flowing river going through here with lots of wildlife, you know.
So we got some more
So
here.
then we have more here, and you'd say, well, those look like footprints, but then count how many toes there are.
That's a lot of toes.
7, you know.
That's weird. Why do 7?
And then if the place we tried to go this morning that was blocked off, there's whole figures like with head, arms, and feet, and they've got 7 fingers and 7 toes.
Oh, wow.
And then there's all these little footprints, and so now you can tell, see how this glyph is older than these.
Yeah.
This one's got the desert varnish, has recovered it, and it's been there longer than these newer ones. And then if you're careful, there's all these footprints over here, and some of these do have 5 toes. Right here.
7 toes.
7, but then there's the dots, and just watch where you put your feet because you're stepping right on them. Yeah. And then see behind you here is even more. And then it stops looking like a footprint, and it just literally looks like a capsule, or like a jellyfish, or like a bomb coming out of the sky, or a spaceship coming down, or who knows what. It's hard with your shadow, huh?
Yeah.
Just a lot of strange energetic symbols, like they're trying to tell you something happened, or convey some kind of a message that's hard to tell, you know. And then everywhere you walk and come over this way, there's even more here. So here you even have what's either like a shaman figure who's either got a bird with him, but the bird, if it's a bird, why does it have hands with fingers? It's like a big person and a little person. Right there. And then here's a really easy way to see different ages. So you can see the figure of the person, or whoever that is older, or somebody came back and re-carved out the lines going off of him. So those, everything coming out of his hand is newer than the body.
That is like a man with the bird.
Right? But the bird looks like it has hands. And you'll see big people with little people all the time up here. And the legends of the giants, that there used to be giants up in these canyons. Lovelock Cave is just like a couple hours that way, and from Nevada all the way across to Kanab and where you guys just drove through. This is all has legends of that there used to be giant people. Wow. Like big 20-foot tall people that lived up here.
And so tonight we're going to come out and do what, some psionics tonight.
Psionics down by the medicine wheel.
Yeah.
Down in the valley here. Yeah.
Do you ever do it during the day?
Yeah, we do it right now. It doesn't matter.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's find the spot and you tell me.
Well, we just keep doing it now as we're going up. Yeah. Okay. So just like all the way up here is going to be carved like this with different figures. These spiral symbols and portal symbols. And then there's just interesting markings. You come over here out in this open area and there's just like clearly just like a triangle pointing this way, like an arrow.
They're everywhere.
Yeah. And then when we drop down up here, there's even more. So see how there's a spiral here? Do you want to go this way? We can go this way, or it can go up higher if you're worried about the tall grass. I don't really care. This is a really...
How much more do we have?
We're going to drop down in, and this is the main spot right here. We're just now getting to it. Here, we'll just go this way. This is easy. You all right?
Ooh.
You all right?
Yeah, twisted my ankle.
Careful.
I think it's a mild one.
We're gonna have to eat his hand off up here.
No. Yeah.
Here we are. Another big panel here.
Oh, wow.
So does that look like a person, or what is that?
Why did they get up there and do it there?
Yeah, well, because it has to do with the sunrise on the solstice, So see how that shadow is pulling across the rock right now?
Yeah,
That's okay. I was just trying to watch my camera. The way that shadow pulls across looks like a hand, like most of the way as it goes across, and the fingers of the hand touch all those dots in the spiral and line up with its antenna and its hands and feet and everything. So when you're here on the summer solstice, that shadow moves across the surface of the rock and it like all lines up and makes sense, like a whole solar event. But like, why does it have eyes like that? And why does it, the reason it's standing that way. And here's another figure here. And then as we come down here, this is the main shaman seat and the main panel here. One of them.
Oh yeah, these guys are right out here, huh? It's everywhere. There's just petroglyphs everywhere.
Step around the corner, see this side of it. This is the main story.
They all look like aliens.
Yeah, how many of them look like normal people?
Yeah, none of these look like normal people.
You have this whole line and this guy coming out of it, 3 toes, 3 fingers. And then it's like a ghost coming up out, like his spirit leaving his body. Goes up, and then you have that whole figure there. I'll wait for Patrick to explain it here. But here, I'll come over on the other side so my camera's not in your face. So this is the shaman seat. This right here is where you're supposed to sit. And you can't see it very good right now, but in the morning in the sunrise, the sun comes up right between that V and the rocks. Straight above, just right here in front of you.
Yeah.
So the sun on the summer solstice comes up right between that crack in the rocks. And when you sit here, right on this seat, the sun comes up and that triangle comes right down the middle of your forehead and right down your chest like a tunic. And it goes right down the middle of your body while you sit here on that rock on the shaman seat and view it. And then as you look up here, the light appears like a triangle of light that comes out of the tip of this figure here, like a triangle that appears that perfectly lines up with its arms coming out. And then it shines and the sunrise spreads and comes down over this whole figure and then moves just like it is now across the whole bottom, and then it appears up at the top, and the way the light and the shadow all moves, this shadow is going to pull all the way up off of the rock, and it goes all the way up over, and it basically like tells a whole story of like the sun from the sky and where you're sitting, and this message from above coming down, and the regular villager basically has this whole out-of-body experience and becomes the shaman. And this is a figure who, notice how he has feet with toes, and then you get up here and he has no feet. That means he's here, but he's not from here, and he's not standing in this world. So he comes from a different dimension or a spirit world. And he's got 5 fingers on one hand and 4 on the other. The cow ears and horns with that weird energy between the horns coming out of his head up there. And this figure right here is the same figure that you can see on the petroglyph up in the canyon north of Skinwalker Ranch. The exact same figure, missing a finger on one hand and everything. Exactly the same. But
The lights overheated.
yeah,
I gotta change batteries.
yeah, go for it. And then that
Let me
whole
just
story up
rest
there
here
tells
for
the whole
2
thing.
seconds.
You bet. Yeah, there's a ton to see up here, so we just take our time. So you're gonna see what it's actually like to be here while we're walking around, the 3 of us in the dark, like for real.
Yeah, I don't know.
Same with why they put the bike trails up by the petroglyphs. So this is kind of part of that whole effort.
Did I touch that? Is that the...
That wasn't me. I didn't touch that.
Really?
That wasn't you?
Did you touch that?
I didn't.
I thought
I didn't
you
touch
kicked
that.
it.